Hey everyone! Welcome back to Done For You. If you're someone who's just getting started with CapCut or still feel like a total beginner, don't worry, you're in the right place. I've been using CapCut for a long time now, and along the way, I've discovered tons of features and editing tricks that most people completely miss. In today's video, I'm going to share some of my favorite tips and techniques that can literally take you from a CapCut noob to a CapCut pro. These are the same tricks I use in my own projects, and if you can master the ones I'm about to show you, trust me, you'll feel like a CapCut editing master too. So grab your phone or your PC, open up CapCut, and let's get right into it. Let's start with our first effect, color isolation. This effect makes one color stand out while turning everything else black and white, giving your video a cinematic look. You've probably seen this in Mr. Beast's videos and other eye-catching edits. To create it in CapCut, first import your clip and place it on the timeline. Then open the adjustment section and go to the HSL tab. Here, you'll find different color sliders. Select the color you want to highlight by using the dropper key. For example, the yellow bag is what we want to highlight here, so with the dropper, we'll select the yellow bag here. Adjust the color slider, increasing the saturation to make the color pop, while lowering the saturation of all other colors to the minimum. And just like that, you've created a professional-looking color isolation effect in just a few simple steps. Now, let's move on to the second effect, the light sweep effect. This effect can make even simple objects look polished and professional. Start by adding your clip to the timeline, then duplicate it using Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V. Go to the Adjustment section of the duplicated clip and click on the Curve tab. Adjust the graph until the object turns bright white, which gives it a clean, glowing look. Next, open the Mask tab and choose the Mirror option. Rotate it to -45 degrees, set the size to around 300, and feather it to about 30. You can tweak these numbers based on your shot. Once that's set, it's time to animate. Go to the start of the clip, add a mask keyframe, and drag the mirror mask to the top left corner. Move forward about 1 second and drag the mask to the bottom right corner. After that, compound both clips together and add a glow effect to enhance the look. I also like to add a few overlays in the background to give it some extra sharp vibes. We'll type in black backgrounds in the library section and look for the best background. With a bit of creativity, this effect looks amazing. And there you go, that's the light sweep effect. If you're picking up some helpful tips so far, drop a brain emoji in the comments, or any emoji you like. It's a fun way for me to see who's following along. Moving on to our next effect, it's animating behind our subject. Are you really a pro if you don't know how to do this next one? Let's add a default text layer and an effect. I'll stretch the text layer so it fits the entire timeline. Then select it. Go to Tracking, Motion Track, and drag the box over our subject. Make sure the box fully covers the subject. To make it smoother, I turn off Scale and Distance, then click Start. Now when we play it back, you'll see the text follows the subject perfectly. The next effect we're going to talk about feels like After Effects built right into CapCut. Next, select your element, go to Effects, search for Play, and choose Play Pendulum. Drag it onto your subject, and you'll notice it creates a weird box. To fix that, select your element and create a compound clip, then reapply the Play Pendulum effect. Turn twist all the way down, set sharpen to 0, and adjust the speed and strength settings to get the right variation. Now, when you press play, your subject looks like it's floating in the air. By tweaking the speed and strength of each element, you can make the move independently for a really dynamic look. The fifth effect is 3D camera effect. Professional editors often use this 3D camera effect to add depth to flat footage, and here's how you can do it in CapCut. Select your image, go to Animation, then Combo, and scroll to the Flip series. I personally like flip number 6. It makes your image look like it's flipping in 3D while the video still plays. I recommend zooming in for extra impact, and when you hit play, your image appears fully three-dimensional. Next effect we are going to talk about is the cinematic effect. Let's apply a cinematic effect to turn ordinary footage into something epic. Go to Effects, search for Movie, and drag the movie effect onto your timeline. What's great is you can still reframe your footage even with the cinematic bars. For example, if the subject's head is cropped at the top, just drag the video layer down so your subject is perfectly framed. Just don't go past the white line, or your clip will extend beyond the cinematic bars. This effect is a must master. Almost every YouTuber uses it to instantly add dynamic, cinematic vibes to their videos. Don't go anywhere yet, because the last effect is coming up, and it's definitely one you don't want to miss. While you're here, leave me a quick emoji in the comments. Maybe a brain emoji. Remember when I said mastering these effects is important? This one is essential because nearly every YouTuber uses it to add energy and a professional flair to their videos. Inside CapCut, you can create smooth zoom-ins and zoom-outs using keyframes. To do this, select your video clip, add a scale keyframe at the point you want the zoom to start, then move a few frames ahead and add another keyframe with the scale increased to, let's say, 130%. At first, the zoom will look artificial and amateurish, but here's the fix. Right-click your video clip, choose Show Variable Speed Animation, and click the Scale rectangle. This opens the Keyframe Animator, where you can select your keyframes, turn them blue, and set them to auto curve. Instead of a stiff, straight motion line, you now get a smooth curve. If you play it back, it already looks better, but to make it even more professional, drag the blue line of the second keyframe closer to the first. Now, the zoom animates quickly at the start and slows down, giving you the cinematic movement that so many YouTubers rely on. You can also fake camera movements with drone shots or static footage by using the same keyframing method, this time adjusting position. First, zoom in the clip up to 120% and add a keyframe at the start. Go to the end of the clip and add another. On the first keyframe, drag your clip so the left side aligns with the frame. On the second, drag it all the way to the right. When you play it, it looks like your drone is flying smoothly across the ocean instead of staying still. Alright friends, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this or learned something new, let me know with an emoji in the comments. It always makes my day to see them. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the little bell icon so you never miss my next video. Also, don't forget to check out my previous video on text effects. It'll help you stay one step ahead and make your edits look even more professional. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see your emojis and hear your thoughts. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next stone.